Hey everyone, welcome back to a new episode of Let's Create Together. And we're in the tree farm storage room where I can show everything is up and going now. Technically, there are some problems with the way things line up on here. So what is it? Yeah, see dark oak, you can't tell which one's saplings and which one's logs. That's why they're color coded. So lime is logs, and just regular green is saplings, and we've done that on all the stuff. Most of the stuff is filled, and then yeah, check it out. We've got mangrove up and going, but this thing's been working pretty good. Minimal breakages. There are still breakages, but most of the farms are full to the point where, yeah, we'll go over that in a second. Actually, we'll go ahead and start recording it. It looks like the mangrove farm is actually broke. Yes, so this is the downfall. Why is it broken? I would assume it shouldn't. This is actually the first. Oh, I'm stuck on a belt. I love this because this is the first time I've actually seen it broken. And I'm not sure why. Normally, it's able to get itself out of a jam. Let's fix this. There we go. All we had to really do is start it forward and back. So it's probably dropping off all the trees it just cut off. Yep, and then watch it go. Yes, perfect. Perfect. And it's going to come down here to the end. You can see it is replanting. So that's good. Yeah, it's kind of an overkill. I didn't need as many saws, but I kept having it get stuck on spots, so I would just keep adding saws and ta-da! So I guess we did find a flaw in it. The big thing is this right here. This little timed... I forget what it's called. You can see that redstone block activates it. So for 30 seconds, it's going to go that direction, and then after 30 seconds, it wants to come back. And yeah, everything's pretty cool. The hardest part was getting the saplings spread out enough to stop the breakages, but obviously that still happens. Oh, that's crazy because that's the first time I've actually seen it break. And then we've got this, which is also broken, but doesn't make much sense on how it's broken. These things are not very good. That's why when you see everything get filled, I just disable them, shut them down. There's really no point. The acacia actually filled up last night. Can I do it from here? Yeah. I hear a spider. I think there's a spider trapped in one of our farms. Oh, I went down there to get that, and I forgot to do what I was gonna do. You just boop. Is this thing gonna be constantly broken? Because yes, because it doesn't have enough saplings. Nice. Oh well, I'm gonna fix that. This thing's almost done anyways, and I know how to permanently fix it, but with it almost filling up the vault, I'm not worried about it right now. So let me do that, and we'll be right back. Okay, to keep the sapling problem from happening, we can just change the shootout for a smart shoot. Someone actually mentioned that in my comments, so thank you very much. We just switch the smart shootout and say, hey, drop everything off but saplings, and the saplings will get stored in there. But like I said, it's so close to being done, I'm not going to fix it yet. I still want to go through and put a redstone link on all of these, so I don't have to keep breaking the farm to turn them on and off and stuff. But I'm not worried about that right now. Today, we're going to work with Carl in a redstone farm, but I also want to show off this. We did this the other night. Well, mostly Carl. Carl put together this thing, which is for gold, and my big job was to figure out how to make the things go spinny spinny. So, and by the looks of all the cobble, it's still probably a little bit too much. So originally we had basically the same generator for the iron farm, and it seemed like it was too much. So I reduced it from 5 on each side to 3 on each side. And yeah, I think it is still just too much. I might have to reduce it even more. I'll talk to Carl about that. We might drop it to 4 on each side and see what happens there, because this is kind of excessive. Yeah, it's all happening right behind. Oh, I should probably show. Actually, this is probably a good one. That's how I'm powering the link. What is it? Display links? Because I didn't show that in the last episode. Very cool. Very nice. Let's wake Carl up because he's sleeping in the wall. See what we can do about a redstone farm. Okay, we're back. The last clip got real bad. So I had some computer problems and was on pain medication for my back, and it turns out all of Carl's voice lines didn't get recorded last night. So, yay!
Some would say that's a feature, not a bug. But
yeah, maybe. But anyways, we really didn't do a ton of stuff. We basically talked about how we're in Carl's base. Let's panel around. This isn't his whole base, but this is where we're going to put the redstone farm, which you see down here. We left off saying we're going to come back once we have everything laid out. Carl went a little bit further and started powering everything. I went a little bit further and got the nether wart farm up and going. But we're at a good spot. Let me not free cam this button. Yeah, we're at a good spot where we can say how everything's going to work. So if we start at the beginning, we're going to come over here. You put netherrack in here, blaze rods in here, and then it's going to take it. The netherrack is going to come down on that belt we were just standing on. Go into those 2 crushing wheels right there that Carl has behind him, turning it into the powder. It's going to come this way. Literally, it's just a long belt for a long belt. Go underneath the nozzle, and that's when it get hit with strength potion. Now, the strength potion we're going to be constantly making, except for the blaze rods. The timing of the blaze rods is important. So we have the nether. Oh, we just saw the harvester harvest. We have the netherwort coming down in here, and it's going to get put here. This mechanical arm, which we haven't set up targets yet, will pull from there and constantly be filling that up. We have a source block of water underneath, so it's going to be constantly filling that up. Then the blaze rods, when they come through this belt right here, they're going to get crushed by these crushing wheels, also turning it into blaze powder. This same arm will grab from there and put in here. The only problem we could have is if there was no nether wart in the system and it puts the blaze powder in first. But because we have the nether wart farm always constantly running, and we have this little overflow over here just to make sure it's constantly filled, that should not be a problem. And if it is a problem, it's not that big of a deal. We can break some stuff and reset it, and it'll be good. It's actually easier to fix in the tree farms. So, yeah. But I don't suspect it's going to break. We kind of trial tested it at my base, and it was very hard to break. But yeah, we have a smart fluid pipe with our strength potion already in there, so it knows to only pull strength potion, obviously because it's filled with water and it's not pulling the water out yet. So everything is looking good. We have this tunnel down here which only accepts redstone, but I'm pretty sure this is for Carl to put his data links and everything on there so he can track how much is actually in the vault.
Yeah, we'll have a screen outside, just like we do for the andesite alloy farm, giving like a per minute, per hour, and a total stock number. So, yeah, be all good. Hi.
Yeah, the harvester says, get out of my way, I'm working. But, yeah, so the last couple things we got to do is just powering up a couple belts, and I think we're ready for test. You think we're ready for test?
We are.
All right,
but before that, we need to go get some blaze rods so we can.
We'll get the belts. Tested. We'll get the belts up and going, and then we'll go blaze rod hunting. I'll show a little time lapse of that next, and then we'll come back when it's ready to give it a go.
Yep.
Okay, so Carl had to go get dinner. He left me a nice sign, but I figured I'd bring you guys back. Now, everything's turned off for now. We have figured out all the issues. A lot of it has to come from these smart fluid pipes. Turns out you can't just put them anywhere in the line. They need to be right up against whatever you're trying to pull out, because if a normal pipe accidentally pulls out, like, say, water, and then tries to go through the smart fluid pipe, it just jams the entire system. And that's something I did not realize. So that's what kept breaking things. Knowing that, I may have done something a little different, but we went ahead and we did 2 basins just to try to not make the mundane potions, because that happened every once in a while. So we've got this one making awkward potion, and it's going to pump straight across into this spot. This is where this mechanical arm will grab the blaze powder from here and put it in there, and then it'll take the strength potion, pump it around. We had to move it around this side because, again, we have to have the smart fluid thing directly attached to the basin, and I couldn't do a pump to this tank sitting right here. We could have moved the tank, I guess, and we still might to make it hold more smart fluid or more strength. That might be a good idea. But we already had power set up and everything right here, so it is here now. It is what it is. The only thing this farm is missing is the lava fuel sources. Like I said, Carl's got that worked out how he wants to. He's already got the mechanical arms in place and powered. He just needs to do the smart chute barrel depot situation. So yeah, everything's okay right now. Oh, I hope it stays okay, but yeah, we're good here. We are making redstone. I think Carl said we made like half a stack. Yeah. Boom, 31, not even half a stack. But that's all just messing up and stuff, which is part of the reason why I love Create. We're doing this without really watching tutorials. We're just winging it as we go. So yeah, it takes longer and it's a lot harder to figure out, but the reward of, holy cow, this thing works now, is great. So yeah. Oh, and also I wanted to point out here, this is a bit too long. It overshoots, but instead of shortening it, we liked how long it was. We just put, if you can see it, there's just glass rods, glass panes right here, and the items, the netherrack will hit that and they fall straight down. So if you guys want any tips on how to deal with making things fall straight down, panes, iron bars, I think this fencing material that Create Deco uses is great, but we didn't want it to be seen, so we used glass panes. Yeah, Redstone Farm pretty much done. I go back and forth to Carl's like at least 3 times every 10 minutes when we're working on stuff. I need some wings. Alright, Carl, everything's in. We just threw in some blaze rods, just threw in some netherrack. Everything looks to be running beautifully.
Back it up, it's back it up. But it is working beautifully.
Nothing's failing anymore. Look at all that redstone being made. Oh. So
this has turned into quite a build.
It has.
For what we thought we were going to be building.
Well, it's
only 2 days ago.
It started out with, man, you're like, this is going to be a lot. It's going to take up a lot of room, all this stuff. And then we started laying it out. We're like, oh, this is going to be easier than we thought. And then we got back to, oh, yeah, this is more complicated.
Yeah.
Definitely need the 2 cauldron or 2 basin system. I think that was a must. I think that's where I messed up early.
Yeah, it just doesn't make the potion in the right order if you don't have it in separate cauldrons. It just, the arms get confused.
Yeah.
So we had to sort of add this in where we take the awkward potion from the Netherwart in the water through to the second basin and then add in the blaze powder. And it seems to be working 100% now, so...
Yep, the only thing I would be worried about is maybe the fluid tank needs to be a little bit larger. But so far, so good.
So far, so good. And we got the lava system for the blaze burners.
Let's go check that out real quick.
Yeah.
So we've got our pipe coming underneath the ground right here, going into a fluid tank. Just some backup storage for now. And it all starts over here. Right here. And Carl did his in a lot different manner than I did mine. And this is honestly probably the better spot. If you have the room, do it this way. Because we're not having any issues. I thought we might with all my issues with pumps and stuff. But as long as you don't make it too deep, it seems to be working just fine. I think that was my biggest problem is I made really long rows.
Yeah, this is just 8 deep, so it's 64 cauldrons. So it's a stack of cauldrons, just 8 deep on each one. And it's sucking them out, as you just saw there. And it's going into the pipe and down into the system. Yeah.
And you're going to build a second one of these at some point for the andesite alloy farm.
At the other end of that room, I'm going to build one for that because currently the cauldrons are just above the alloy farm. And it's a bit, it's a bit on the edge as to whether it ever runs out. Sometimes we get down to 1 cauldron. I'm like, so.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to build another one of these and pump it into that one so we never run out of lava in the alloy farm as well.
Yeah, a lot of people do the infinite lava, but so Lucy's base is on top of a dripstone cave, and there's just hundreds of thousands of dripstone down there. So getting dripstone's not that hard, and honestly, these farms aren't too bad either. Yeah, you probably could have an easier time with infinite lava, but that takes a good bit of setup time, whereas these aren't too bad.
I threw this up in 2 hours, including digging the room out.
Yeah, I was gonna.
And getting power down here as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say I did some laundry and did some chores. Then I went and I grabbed an early dinner, and this was done by the time I came. I literally just helped you do the spouts and running the tube
tank and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to get the power all the way from up there. I have a power source that goes the length of my base, and I had to get a gearbox off that, bring it all the way down to here to power it. So that took a little bit of time as well.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna not hear you for a second. Let me free cam and show everyone your windmills, because the part where we showed the windmills earlier got cut because the voice messed up.
That's true.
So hang on. Yeah. This is Carl's base, guys. And it's obviously not finished or anything like that, but 2 massive windmills. I think those are maxed out windmills. So very, very cool. And our redstone farm is sitting right in there. And his alloy farm for andesite is right in here. So yeah, you can see working down here. And it does a very good job. This is where I get all my andesite alloy from. I'm back.
Good to see you. Did you enjoy the mini tour?
I hope the viewers did. I've been here many times.
This is true. But yeah, we Redstone Farm's done.
Yeah.
The Quartz Farm's gonna be easy now.
Yeah.
Compared with that.
For sure. I love watching create farms do their thing. It's so cool we ended up building another one. So this is a quartz farm. It's almost identical to the gold farm with just a... Oh, I about killed myself in crushing wheels. There's a different step with haunting that needs to happen to turn that. I think if you do a campfire, it turns that to terracotta in the gold farm, whereas this one turns it to soul sand, and then it'll get washed. And let's see if we can... it turns it to quartz. There is a chance it produces gold nuggets. That being said, we have a gold farm now, so we don't need that. Also, it produces clay balls, which is awesome. We're gonna save those. But yeah, the redstone farm and the quartz farm, as we're calling it, oh man, it is producing faster. You can see again, we didn't go with 10 drills like we did in the iron farm. We went with just 4, and it does look like it produces more. Well, maybe not. Maybe it's just waiting to get a big batch before it goes to the crushing wheels. But yeah, I am very, very happy with how this turned out. It's very cool. It's a great addition to Carl's base. I will be visiting a lot to steal redstone and quartz to make electron tubes. Matter of fact, next episode, we will probably build a machine that makes the electron tubes for us, so I don't have to keep doing that, because that's a tedious process and one we can make a lot better. Yeah, if you guys enjoyed this episode, hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you want more content, and I can't wait to join you guys in the next adventure. Until then, bye.